mindfulness in writing. I've been thinking about the topic for a while this morning, and I thought I would do a shortish video here, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. And it's rather straightforward. In fact, I like to try to keep things straightforward and simple when I'm dealing with things. Complications I find are unnecessary. And mindfulness in general is about simplicity. And sometimes people miss that point because they're all trying to, take it too seriously. And what I'm trying to say there is, if you take something too seriously and if you wrap yourself up in it too much, you miss the whole point. Being mindful is meant to be relaxed, meant to be calm and unbothered. And if you like, that puts you in a good mood. And if you take something extremely seriously to such a point that it starts annoying you, you're going straight against what mindfulness is. When it comes to writing, the mindful approach to writing I take is a bit like maps by here. I have a couple of maps. They're laid out and easy to follow. Well, maps in theory are easy to follow. And when I write, I keep the story simple. I don't overcomplicate it. There's a main character and 1 or 2 backup characters as the chapters develop. And each story that ends and a new story that starts occasionally brings one of the old characters into view, but in general, it doesn't overdo it. The key part to my writing is don't overdo it. Don't panic about it. Don't worry about it. And don't try too hard at it. The harder you try to write perfect from the very beginning, the more likely you're going to give up halfway through. So don't worry about the grammar. Don't worry about how it sounds, how the characters look, or even how the storyline develops. Just write it out. In a copybook, scribble with a pencil. I mentioned that a few times before. And let the story develop without pressure. Don't worry at all about tying it all together. Your first draft is basically a pile of notes. Notes that don't necessarily tie together. As long as there's some writing involved and the story coming together, that's your first draft. You can tidy it all up later on. When it comes to putting it on the computer, you can use, like I use voice-to-text recognition software. You can see it coming on the screen and the idea is coming to you, and you might want to change a little bit here and change a little bit there. You can. But ultimately, don't drive yourself mad about it. Don't try to get your first draft as some kind of best-selling, super blockbuster kind of thing, because the chances of that happening are kind of minimal. So instead of pressuring yourself to have some kind of perfect first story, just say to yourself, I'm going to write for the fun of it. Whether it sells or not doesn't bother me. I'm just going to write for the fun of it. And that's it. Write for the fun of it. And while you're doing that, don't worry about what other people are thinking. Sometimes we have an idea for a character and we worry ourselves that somebody we know in the real world might assume it's based on them. Most of my characters are just made up. I might see people walking in the park from 20 years ago and I think, what's that person like? Or something like that. But in general, I just make them all up because I don't know that many people in the real world, so I don't base myself or my characters on people out there. I'm more likely to get ideas from the TV and movies, in fact. So, anyhow, the baseline of what I'm saying today is Don't drive yourself nuts. Give yourself a break every now and again. Don't be setting deadlines or something like that. Just fire out your story and let it develop and tidy it up afterwards. Simple as that.